Hello, another episode of the Men Like Us podcast. Give me one second. Let me turn my headphones up. Turn my mic up here. Actually, I'm going to experiment here real quick, and I really should have done this before I pressed the live button. But hey, that's live television, and just what it is. So as always, y'all really need to bear with me and give me just a little minute here to get the show together. Okay. Let me see here. Double, triple check. All right. Well, hopefully y'all can hear me better now. So I just put on my headphones. The microphone should be picking it up a lot better this go round. So yeah, okay. All right. So just give me a second here, y'all. Just want to share the live out. And y'all know what it is. Y'all know what we're doing. And I will address the drought in content this year and keep y'all updated because y'all the fans, and I appreciate y'all following me throughout this past couple years, and you guys deserve an explanation, so I will definitely get that to you all. So give me a little bit here. This is an impromptu show. This was not planned. It is Wednesday afternoon, and something just hit me, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta speak on this. I gotta say something, and this is definitely part of why the platform is here. Is just for me to just share my thoughts, and hopefully some men will listen and take heed, and think about it themselves. So that's what we are doing today. So just give me 1 second here. So just let me share it to another couple groups. Those of you listening on podcast platforms, just y'all already know what to do. Just skip ahead. Sorry, I do not have enough bandwidth to what was it to edit these shows, so I have to just put them out raw. So that's just what it is. Sorry. Here, share to group. We'll share one more place. 1 second. All right. So yes, it's been a while. It has been a minute. I've been out, y'all. I've been out and out, y'all. So since I've been gone, spent like a week and a half in Paris. That was absolutely amazing. Anyone who was thinking about going to Paris absolutely should go. Had a great stay there. Me and my girlfriend went, and it was the bomb. It was definitely the bomb. You will catch a whole different vibe out there in Paris. So, that's been one of the major things. Just been traveling, had another funeral to go to, had some things going on, and, other Well, I guess a little bit more personal things happened in my life, but just been busy. Y'all had a lot going on, to traveling all over the country. So is what it is. So today's show really, um, I guess what got me going for today was, Pride is coming up. Pride Month starts in June, and I really, it just really has been that we need more men. More men have to show up for a lot of these events, not just during Pride Month, but throughout the year. Trans Day of Visibility, trans marches, whatever else. I get it. A lot of you guys are not political. You're not political types. I get it, but we need more representation at these events. Um, and I just really want to press that upon you men who are listening to the show right now, to really consider, if there's events in your community, in your city, in your wherever, in your vicinity, please consider showing up and just show up. Like, you don't have to be the ringleader or nothing. Ain't nobody gonna ask you to talk. Just be there. I think we just need more men to show up to a lot of these events that are meant to support the trans community, the LGBTQIA plus community. Especially the trans community. They are under attack. They are under siege right now by the right wing, by Republicans. I normally don't get political on this show, but can't help. It can't be helped right now. It cannot be helped. So, the right wing, they're making laws all across the country. There is a national, I guess, what you call a backlash to just trans lives in general, trans individuals in general, which is absolutely ridiculous. It is, and sadly, the people who follow, these people on the right wing, on the right side of the aisle, they don't understand that this is all just a ploy to get votes. This is just an issue that they could stick to get you to vote for them. All they care about is votes. If they didn't have to do all this anti-trans stuff and create all these bills and do all these speeches and argue and protest and all this stuff, if they didn't have to do any of that stuff and they could still get your vote, they would. They would. If they could do all that and still get you to show up to the ballot, show up to vote, they would. Like, they wouldn't be doing any of this junk. They would just let it go. They would just let it go. They would just let it go. But since that's not the case, Republicans need an issue, and they are demonizing an entire community of people. And as men who say we love trans women, who say we're allies, advocates, whatever else, we have to speak the fuck up. The trans topic, as it were, it's a topic of conversation in a lot of circles who would never touch the subject before the current state of affairs. And not because they hate trans people or anything like that. It just wasn't relevant. It wasn't, I guess, I don't even know what you call it, but it just wasn't at the top of what they would call the zeitgeist. So, but now it is. And, people are talking about it. Your family members are talking about it. Your friends are talking about it. Your coworkers are talking about it. And I'm asking you men who know more than they do about the trans community, the trans experience, all of that stuff. I'm not saying we're full-blown experts and we know more than the girls or anything like that, but we know more than the average person. And we have a more enlightened opinion and informed opinion than the average person on, the experience of trans women and just individuals in the community. And I'm saying that we need to engage. When your friends, family, coworkers are having these conversations and they're being ignorant as hell, then I need you to step the fuck up. I need you to speak the fuck up. If you're really about this, if you're really trying to say, hey, I'm an ally, I love trans women, I want to date a trans woman, X, Y, and Z, dude, part of this process is really, being brave enough to sacrifice your privilege, your male, your cis hetero male privilege. It is privilege. We can slink back and just be a part of the crowd and just be with everybody else. And obviously there are members of LGBT community who don't have that ability, especially in the trans community. We have to speak up and use the validity given to us because we are perceived as cis heterosexual men. We have to use that power and speak up and be heard and change some hearts and minds, or at the very least, make some people uncomfortable with just being straight up transphobic. I'm not saying you got to throw hands, you don't have to fight people, and I'm not saying you need to argue loudly, but offering a dissenting opinion at every turn, that's great. I'm not saying that's the biggest contribution in the world, but that's better than nothing. We have to do whatever we can to not let ignorance just stand. And I know some of you guys would rather just stay out of the fray. You're not political, but I think this is something that is very basic that all the guys can really do. And I think, doing that kind of sets up a situation where people understand that, hey, it's not free reign. It's not open season on the trans community. I can't just be a bigot everywhere because not everybody believes like I do. And, when you make it uncomfortable for people to just be open bigots, that changes the dynamic. They definitely don't feel as free. They understand our society is not full of people who want to hate on the trans community, who want to discriminate. So, that's just something I'm asking you men to really step up on. And I'm not saying that you who are watching this are not doing that, but I know there are some that aren't, out of fear of losing whatever social capital they have right now, with their friend groups or whatever groups. If you're hearing people trash the trans community just in mass, like don't let it happen, guys. Just don't take it. So that's just one of my asks today. This community is under siege right now, and we need to be supporters. We need to be true supporters, and we need to speak up. And that also means, voting, showing up to vote for people who would repeal a lot of these regressive policies. That means, like I said, speaking up when people are having political debates, like share a different opinion or enlighten some people. A lot of these people know nothing. They're ignorant. And they're not ignorant because they're bad, awful people. They're ignorant because they just don't know. Or they were just sold misinformation from Fox News, whatever person's trying to get a vote out of them. So, it is all of that. But, in addition to all that, I have to admit, I've not been the most active person in real life in the world when it comes to showing up to events and, going to conferences or any of that kind of stuff. I actually had a pretty lengthy discussion with a friend who she got me to understand that I should probably change my stance on trying to show up for some conferences and just, support and let women know, like, hey, we are here and we are, we want to fellowship with y'all and learn and all that kind of stuff. So, people on the convention circuit, look out, because men like us is showing up. So I'm gonna get out there to a convention or two within the next year. Probably even try and set up a session at a convention. Who knows? But I just really want us to start getting involved. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a blue and pink shirt on at all times, and doesn't mean you have to go fight riot police and all that stuff. Just, hey, when they're doing a march on DC, and especially for you guys in relationships, show the fuck up. Don't let your girl go by herself. If you got a girl that's into that stuff and she's out there, then go. Please do not be the guy who lets his girl go out there and you don't know what's going to happen. And besides it's one of those things, especially in this space, we need to see more people together. Men and women need to see that shit. There's so many men that don't believe it's possible. There's so many women that don't believe it's possible. And we just need, we need to see that stuff so that, people can model that behavior and be like, dang, well, they doing it. I could do that. I want that for myself now. There are some people that really just don't believe it's possible. And because of that, they don't want it for themselves. They don't even pursue it because they just, well, being people, that doesn't happen. That's what's going through their mind. So, like, this is a whole hodgepodge, jumbled up show. But, at the end of the day, fellas, I hope you just hear me out. Please get active. Find an event this next month to go to. Find an event to go to. Find something to do where you're just there, you're a supporter, you're an ally, whatever. I think we need as many people out there supporting the trans community as possible, and especially as many men as possible showing up to support the trans community, because they are, like I've said it 3-4 times already, under siege. They are the Republican platform at this point, which is absolutely awful. So, what up, Trail? Yeah, I heard really good things about New York Pride. And it doesn't have to be the big main Pride event in your town. You can go to a parade. You don't have to. I don't know. Every city's got different stuff, but I live in Houston. Houston's got different things going on. Kind of throughout. Actually, Houston's weird. They got things going on in like 2 different months. So, like, people celebrate the main Pride in like June, but then they got stuff in other months as well. It's really weird. But just look it up. Everybody's got a LGBT center in their city that can help them find where the events are at if they just want to be a supporter and all of that stuff. So, Victoria on YouTube. Victoria, they're coming after us hard. Please stand with us. You don't have to fight the world. Just start by saying not cool when somebody says a trans slur. Thank you. Yeah. But I mean, that's it right there. Offering an opposing opinion whenever anybody decides to be bigoted, just don't allow it. I'm not saying you have to like strike them down with your mighty hammer of justice, but something as simple as, hey, not cool. Or hey, you know what? That they really ain't like that, right? You do know that they're not actually like, you do know like most trans people aren't pedophiles, right? Like, you do know those like people who are drag typically aren't even transgender. Like, those are 2 different groups, right? Like, you do know that. You're not lumping men who dress up part-time with people who live this 24 hours, are you? So it's just it's that craziness. It's the conflation, and that's been a part of the Republican platform, is just to conflate drag queens with the rest of the trans community and just smash everybody together and make everybody look crazy, bizarro, whatever. And I mean, it's easy to do that because most of middle America has no proximity to the trans community whatsoever. And when that's the case, it's very easy for them to believe ignorance and misinformation because there's nothing else in their life showing them a different way, showing them something different. I, as a Black man, experienced that. I went to college with kids who never sat in a classroom with a Black person before. Like, all they knew of Black people was what was on TV, and it wasn't good. I can promise you that. But they had nothing in their environment to show them, well, okay, well, this is telling me Black people was like this, but Chris ain't nothing like that. And so, I mean, it ain't always somebody for these people to just turn to and like, oh, okay, well, and they're saying these people are pedophiles and this is this, but Tammy over there, she cool. So, I mean, that's why it's so easy for Republicans to get over on this and really kind of turn the hearts and minds of America against a very small part of the population, an astonishingly small part of the population. So, I mean, I think we're just lucky that this hasn't turned into, increased attacks on transgender individuals. And what I mean by that is, random attacks at the bus stations and beatings and all that kind of ish, like kind of like what we had with the Asian hate thing during the pandemic, and Trump, started up. But yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Pedophilia and being trans are 2 totally different things. Pure ignorance. Absolutely. It is pure ignorance. So yeah, this is the impromptu show. This was really sitting on my heart. And I really just want to again encourage you guys to get involved, step up, and just do not allow a lot of this bigotry and ignorance to stand. I know that it could strain some of your relationships with your friends, but in that straining your relationships with these people, you're actually educating them and helping them understand that not everybody thinks like them. Not everybody is prejudiced in the way that they are. Not everybody sees things exactly the way that they do. And I can be honest. I know people that in my own life who see things a certain way, but they know where I stand on the issues. And so, I mean, at the very least, they have Chris to point back to say, oh, well, okay, well, I believe this way. But yeah, my boy, this guy I know, Chris, or this is my Facebook friend, Chris, or this guy I went to high school with or church with, whatever, Chris, he sees it completely different. And he's a pretty regular dude. So it's just like, it's just what it be. So either way, I'm not saying you guys have to be content creators or, fighting on the street activists. Just I think we need to be more visible. I think we need to show up. Pride Month is a great opportunity for you. A lot of trans attracted men who say they are allies, advocates, whatever. It's a great opportunity for you to physically show up and support, and just be there. Just be there. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to interact with the girls or any of that junk. You don't have to have any scary. Just be there. This is the community that needs support, and they need it now, and they need it from us as well. So that is pretty much all I got for this week, y'all. I really appreciate the folks that joined me on the live, and we'll when I have something else to say, we will be back. So with that, I'll catch y'all next stream.